So what would happen if Thai tea and a cinnamon roll had a baby? That's what I want to try to figure out today, so let's go. So before I get started with anything, I'm going to take all the milk that's being used in my rolls today and I'm going to infuse that with Thai tea flavor. So we're going to heat up our milk on a medium heat just until it's steaming and then add our Thai tea leaves until it gets nice and orange and that nice Thai tea flavor. So my milk is starting to steam and it's getting nice and hot, so I'm going to turn off the heat and add my Thai tea leaves. Thai tea leaves have been added, so now I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. You'll see it will start to turn orange. It's got that yummy Thai tea flavor and smell. So it's been 10 minutes and my milk has now turned that signature Thai tea orange color and it smells delicious. So I'm just going to take this and strain it through a fine mesh sieve as carefully as I can. And once you've strained your tea, we're just going to chill this so it's a nice cool temperature for us to be able to work with for our dough. Alright, so now that I've got Thai tea milk, I'm going to start making my dough. So I'm going to start with a little bit of milk, my Thai tea milk, and a small portion of my flour. And we're going to heat this up on the stove just until it thickens up into a paste. This is called a tang zhang. It's used in a lot of soft doughs like this. It'll keep your dough moist and soft and fluffy, and it'll retain its moisture into the next day so it doesn't get stale right away. So heat this up on medium heat just until it thickens up into a paste. Alright, so this process is going to happen really fast, so you want to make sure that you watch this and stay whisking it and mixing it consistently the whole time, and it'll thicken up in just a few seconds. Alright, so now I've got my tang zhang already set to go. I'm going to take to my mixer bowl, I'm going to take the rest of my Thai tea milk, and I'm going to add my tang zhang to the milk. Alright, and then I'm just going to add my flour, butter, yeast, a little bit of sugar, and salt. I'm going to take this, put it on our mixer, and we're going to set this on like a low medium for about 12 minutes. So it's been 12 minutes, my dough is done. Ooh! As you can see, it's this amazing bright orange color, just like you would see Thai tea. Ah, wow! How cool is that? It feels so nice. Alright, so I'm going to take my dough out of the bowl. And I'm just going to gently shape it into a ball by kind of scooping the top to the bottom, like so. I'm not going to work with this too much. You don't want to play with it too much because then you'll overwork the gluten and that'll make it tough. So I'm going to shape it into a ball, and then I've got a buttered bowl right here. I'm just going to place this inside right there. I'm going to cover this with plastic and I'm going to let it sit for about 30 minutes at room temperature until it almost doubles in size. Alright, so while my dough proofs and doubles in size, we're going to whip up the filling real quick. This is what's going to go inside of your roll. I'm going to take sugar, a little bit of butter. I'm doing some toasted coconut. I think the flavor goes really well with Thai tea. It's a little bit of that tropical feel. It's delicious. And a little bit of flour. This is going to bind it together so you don't have sugar leaking out of your rolls. And then I'm going to take a little bit of zest from a lime. So I'm gonna take a little bit of zest from a lime. This is gonna give it a really nice punch of flavor and give it some dimension so the whole roll doesn't taste just like Thai tea. It's gonna be a really nice accent that pairs really well with the Thai tea flavor. So I'm doing the zest of about half of a lime. And then we'll take just a little spatula and we'll just mix this together real quick. All right, so now we've got our super yummy, limey coconut sugar mixture, and this is what's gonna go inside of the middle of our Thai tea rolls before we roll them up. All right, so our dough has doubled in size, our filling is ready, and now we can start making our rolls. All right, so I've got some flour on the side, and I'm gonna use a little bit of that to keep my dough from sticking, but I don't wanna use a lot of it, just enough so it doesn't stick. So, and flop my dough out. Beautiful. A little more flour. And I'm just gonna gently stretch and pull and flatten this out into a nice rectangle. I don't know about you guys, but I love Thai tea. I feel like it's one of the most delicious drinks that you can honestly have. I think I'm also a big fan of anything that has sweetened condensed milk in it. But yeah, I think the thing I hate the most about Thai tea is that I just drink them way too fast. So anytime I can get one when I'm at a Thai restaurant or I'm passing by a little Thai food cart, whatever it is, and I see Thai tea, I always stop and get one. So the idea of having it in something I'm super familiar with and that I find comforting and delicious and playful, like a cinnamon roll, just sounded like the perfect combination. So that's what we're going for today. All right, so I've got my nice rectangle here. My dough is nice and even. And now I'm gonna take our filling, take our delicious filling here, and we're gonna spread this on top of the entire thing. So spread your filling as evenly as you can across the entire top of your dough. You can leave one small end here. This is where we're gonna end our roll. So you can leave that open if you want and don't put any filling there. And it'll make it a little bit easier in the end. All right, filling's good to go. Let's roll this bad boy out. All right, so I'm gonna start from my end here, and I'm just going to gently use my fingers to do this as evenly as possible. And slowly letting it roll on itself. I'm not stretching or pulling this. I'm really just letting it push itself up into a roll. All right. Once we're here, just make sure it's nice and even and tucked in nice and well. So my number one trick with cinnamon rolls or Thai tea rolls or any sort of roll is to use dental floss to cut your rolls. I know that may seem a little crazy, but good old dental floss is gonna give you a really nice clean cut without smudging your roll. And you also don't need a cutting board or anything like that because we're not gonna be using a knife. So just take your dental floss just like you would your teeth, and then we're gonna go in and just first score these into 6 equal rolls. So I'm just gonna go right down and eyeball 6. And then I'm gonna take my floss and go snug right underneath. Join the 2 strings in the middle and then pull until they slice a roll. And you should get a nice, beautiful, clean cut just like that. So continue doing this for all 6 of them until you are done. I mean, how good does that look? So pretty, so yummy. All right. So the last thing I'm gonna do before I put these on the pan is I'm gonna just give the end of these rolls, a little smush at the end on the tail. And then I'm gonna take this tail, being careful not to stretch it. I'm gonna continue wrapping it around. And then I'm just gonna tuck that little part that I smushed. I'm gonna tuck it underneath my roll so that way it doesn't open up when it starts to bake. So now you've got your nice little cute tucked in rolls, and this is how it's gonna go on the pan, just like this. So I'm just gonna keep working through. I'm doing this for all 6 of these. Once all your rolls are placed onto your sheet pan, I'm just gonna lightly cover these with a little bit of plastic so they don't dry out. And then I'm gonna set these in a warm place to proof for about 30 minutes to an hour, just until they get nice and poofy and almost doubled in size. For me, a warm place is gonna be the inside of my oven. And it's just gonna sit nice and toasty in there. So for my glaze, I'm essentially just taking that Thai tea milk that I had earlier and I've added powdered sugar to it. Whenever you're making an icing, if you want it to be runnier, you're gonna add more liquid, and if you want it to be thicker, you're gonna add more powdered sugar. And don't forget a little pinch of salt. So these are nice and fluffy. They've poofed up quite a bit. It's been about an hour that they've been proofing. So I'm gonna throw these in the oven at about 350. So the very last step we have to do before we can enjoy these is ice them. So we're gonna take the glaze we made a little bit earlier, and my rolls are now warm, but they're not so hot to the touch that I can't touch them. And I'm just gonna go one at a time, grab my roll. I'm gonna dip basically all the way in, everything except for the bottom. Lift it out. Let it drip a little bit, and then place it on your rack and let it finish dripping. And that's it. The moment of truth. Let's give them a try. Ooh. Oh my gosh, they're still warm. Look at how freaking delicious this looks. Ooey, gooey, green from the lime zest. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, I have to try. Oh! Quavo likes it. Oh my gosh. They're so soft, so fluffy. If you like this video, if you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll be with you soon.